Wayne Brady can sing, act, and dance. What's more, he's quite an impressionist. He's one of the pleasant folks in the business who commonly goes unnoticed and is somewhat unproblematic, yet away from the fabulousness and charm. We should make an arrangement. He has confronted a few individual battles that have driven him down the path to finding his actual self. Before we hop into the present video, make certain to gather up something to chomp on at Rebel Snacks. Come. Our web-based snack bar has a combination of hamburger and bacon jerky, blue raspberry licorice, and spreadable toffee peanuts. Wayne Alfonso Brady was brought into the world on June 2, 1972, in Columbus, Georgia, to young West Indian guardians. He told the Alzheimer's Association that his grandma raised him from the time he was a child, and he tenderly called her mother. His family later moved to Orlando, and from the beginning, he was shown the significance of schooling. His seniors likewise trained him to talk in a specific way and be lucid. So he went from having a compliment to talking legitimately, which irritated a great deal of the kids in the generally dark, low-paying local area of Tangelo Park, he told the Chicago Tribune. The youngsters there generally let him know he wasn't adequately dark. They likewise blamed him for thinking he was too great to even consider spending time with them. Tragically, he felt alienated among his own kin. In an 8-minute verbally expressed word track called Angriest Person of Color in America, he discusses a lighter-colored person of color who once told him, "Use a dark, revolting mother." Those words changed his life and made him embarrassed about his melanin. He said, "You pair dark and appalling together as such. It caused me to feel like my sort of dark life didn't make any difference." He began keeping away from the sun and didn't have any desire to play outside out of dread that he would get more obscure. He despised his coarse hair and would douse it in child's oil, trying to make it delicate and glossy. He likewise battled with a falter, which added to his frailties, he told the Orlando Sentinel. He quieted down so individuals wouldn't ridicule his discourse issue. And afterward, he was transported to school 4 miles away, where being an unfortunate dark youngster in a high society foundation made him a quick objective. He is better at making your mother quip up to keep away from a conflict and to win any verbal fights. He learned right off the bat how to change himself to squeeze into various gatherings. He characterized it as similar to a chameleon. He would likewise withdraw to his creative mind to circumvent all that was happening in his young life. Fortunately, he had the help of his grandma, who kept his soul lifted during troublesome times. In a meeting, he said, at whatever point I got somewhat deterred, she had the option to slap me on the rear of my head. Be that as it may, his relationship with his dad was brimming with disputes. He told Playbill.com that his father was a military recruit instructor for the vast majority of his life. So not exclusively was his father severe, however, he didn't support Wayne turning into an entertainer. Nothing. However, nobody could get Wayne away from his enthusiasm. After a companion welcomed him to play a one-line job in a play, Wayne saw that when he made that big appearance, his falter disappeared. Acting gave him life. It made him more engaged, and he had something to be glad for. He told Stream magazine he was at long last ready to stroll with his head held high. He joined a nearby comedy company, and at 16 years old, he started combining his gifts as a singer and artist at Walt Disney World. In the wake of moving on from secondary school, he and his dad had a tremendous run-in over where he needed to end his life. Eventually, Wayne chose to lean on his instincts, and his father, in the end, acknowledged his vocation. He married Diana Tether in 1993. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1995, and his dad died that very year. In 1996, he moved to Los Angeles to pursue his enthusiasm, and the door began opening right away. It was simply lamentable that his dad had previously changed and wasn't there to see every one of the endowments Wayne was getting. In 1998, only 2 years after moving to Los Angeles, he handled a job on Whose Line Is It at Any Rate? What's more, in a flash, he turned into a commonly recognized name. In April 1999, he married artist Mandy Takeda, and their daughter was brought into the world in 2003. Their marriage ended in divorce in 2007. He proceeded to have The Wayne Brady Show and We Should Make an Arrangement, a show he used to watch with his grandmother when he was young. Toward the end of each and every episode, he gives her a yell out by saying, "I love you, mother." He was large and in charge, satisfying his fantasies as a whole. His grandma actually lived in Tangelo Park, and Wayne would visit her and frequently run into his old schoolmates, including the ones who mistreated him. He went to his long-term secondary school gathering and told Orlando magazine that his 15-year-old self was so fulfilled to appear in the tissue and show his previous colleagues all that he had achieved. However, within, he was gradually disentangling, regardless of being far away from the harmful remarks that harmed him during his experience growing up. Wayne found that grown-ups were comparably critical, particularly as it related to dark Americans who didn't follow the state of affairs. During an episode of Chappelle's Show, the late Paul Mooney joked that white individuals love Wayne Brady since he makes Bryant Gumbel seem like Malcolm X. Wayne told the Shadow and Act site that when the episode initially circulated, he was irritated. I didn't think the joke was amusing. So with one joke, you have excused two individuals of color and their achievements since you're saying they don't squeeze into our clan or our local area since we're like this. They're like that. As a performer, he realizes that telling wisecracks about individuals is the best solution. In any case, Paul's dig brought back the annoying issues from Wayne's young life, when different kids would prod him for not being adequately dark. Wayne said it annoyed him that individuals of color generally pass judgment on one another, and on second thought, when other dark performers gave him props for opening entryways in different spaces, they decided to peer down on him and blame him for just being well known on the grounds that he engaged white individuals. He even contacted Paul secretly and let him know he didn't find the joke entertaining. Eventually, the gloomy sentiments he held on to transformed into a positive circumstance. At the point when Dave welcomed Wayne on the show, they made the splendid piece of satire that individuals actually discuss today. Apologies, Daddy. Me. Apologies, Daddy, what in the world did you do? Goodness, my God. Brady must gag like a bitch. Goodness, my God. What did I just watch, brother? Gracious, my golly. My kid, Wayne Brady, is over here doing drive-bys. Goodness, kid. Pulling up, gathering cash from his representatives. Like, brother, I'm finished, man. However, at that point, when Bill Maher alluded to President Barack Obama's apparent absence of unmistakable dark social qualities by depicting Obama as America's Wayne Brady, Wayne applauded back. I thought when we chose a dark president, we planned to get a dark president. In any case, he advised Individuals magazine that he would have rather not given himself a permit to live in the shadows and be mysterious. He's still in treatment, and he understands there's work underway. He told Individuals magazine. I have work to do. If you bargain, then Wayne, as a solitary, receptive pansexual, can go with a choice and be free and open to others.